channel, I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Jez. We'd like to welcome you to our very first video on our channel, and it's all about San Francisco and the time we had in 3 days over there.
Have you ever wondered what you could do in 3 days in San Francisco? Keep watching to find out. So first of all, it's just a bit of a quick overview on our booking process and our flight to America.
So we flew to San Francisco from Manchester. We booked at the high street because we just thought it'd be easier that way, and it was something new for us to do with a long haul flight. With it being 11 hours as well, we got a really good deal with premium economy, and for the time it was like stretching your legs, fidgeting, it just seemed a better deal all around. For I think it's about £150 each for both the return flights. Have it done premium economy, so fully recommend it. Just a little bit extra, just based on the length of the flight.
And all I would say is if you were to book through, your high street travel agent, don't be shy to. We got a good couple of £100 knocked off just purely because we took his car through them. They arranged everything from us, and they at a really good price. We had a look online and it couldn't be beaten at the time. So certainly don't be shy in trying to get a good deal.
Absolutely.
Group, however, I'd like to welcome you now to San Francisco. The local time here is 8 hours behind the UK, so it's just approaching 5:25.
So we arrived in America, what time would it be? To be honest, it was probably about 2 AM UK time, so at this point my eyes were falling asleep. But the hotel that we'd booked, we looked roughly for 4-star hotels. Then when we looked into the reviews, a bit mixed, which I think you do get with any sort of hotel that you look at really, unless you go yourself. I suppose what everybody wants from a hotel is different, but we stayed in the Sir Francis Drake Hotel on Union Square. And
it's one of the Kimpton chain of hotels, so although I've not stayed in any other Kimptons before, they're the people that actually own this particular hotel itself, and it was really good. You go into the actual doors at the front itself and you're greeted by the famous beef eater, which is kind of like a guy in some medieval suit just kind of standing there welcoming you in, and there's a massive red statue as well as you walk through the reception before you go to check in as well. So again, for the first morning, speaking of the location of the hotel, I knew one of my friends had been here for the honeymoon and they'd got a few ideas where to go, so I kind of asked them where the best breakfast in San Francisco would be, and bizarrely enough the place they recommended was a place called Laurie's Diner, which was on the opposite corner when we exited the hotel, so it was literally a 5-minute walk. And
not even that.
No,
I wouldn't say that.
3.5 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes. But it was really good food, fantastic. We had some milkshakes, didn't we? We
did. We started the following morning, so day 1 in San Francisco, with a cheeky milkshake.
This big. It was like, the milkshake was like, I can't even fit it on screen. It was a huge milkshake, but there'll be a picture of it just about here just to show you the milkshake as well. Huge. And the amount you get in it as well, you get kind of like the glass, and then the metal kind of shaker they use. It's full of this, sit it right next to the other milkshake. So you've got milkshake, metal shaker, and it's like full of more milkshake. So literally, you're wired for sugar whilst you're having a savoury breakfast of
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict.
Could eat that every single day. It did not fail. When you walk in, American diner, it was just like, I felt like I was in a movie. Like I just felt, like there was a bit of an Elvis Presley statue.
There was an Elvis Presley statue.
There was an Elvis Presley statue.
It's about 10 feet tall. It was not life size unless you were just like huge.
Car in the back. Not a car expert, so I don't know what style. I'll see whether Jess can shine more light on that.
I remember taking a photo and it was called an Edsel.
You'll probably see that in just a moment. But yeah, fantastic.
Really good.
Solid 10 out of 10 if you're looking for somewhere to eat and if you're staying around Union Square.
I'd give it 11. 11 out of 10. 11. It was just the food, the drink, the location, fast service. Really good value as well. And we did actually use it. I think there's only one morning we didn't actually have a breakfast at Laurie's. So if you're anywhere in San Francisco or the world, just go to Laurie's Diner. It's amazing. Best breakfast I think I've ever had. Lovely.
and full from this visit to Laurie's Diner.
Very full. Walking uphill. Oh.
As we are keen planners, we're having a look at all the hot spots to get all the
Charlotte's the keen planner. Yeah.
Having a look at the hot spots for photos, and of course, we didn't miss out on, you know, the well-known, legendary Lombard Street.
Lombard Street, which is I think it's the tightest turns on the road, or windiest as it goes down or up. It's really steep, super windy. We didn't walk up or down it. We just thought, right, we've walked for like 30,000 steps. I think we did each for that day so far. So we just literally got to the top of it and just took a few photos of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, it would have been nice to drive the car, but you know, we didn't pick up our hire car until just when we're leaving San Fran. So catch that in the next video. But yeah, I mean, it would have been a different experience to go down it in the car, but certainly not to be disappointed with walking and taking your own snaps. We didn't go by tram. It was his first day. We thought we'll save tram for another time, and we're just getting a bit familiar with the area. However, there was a tram stop just at the top. So definitely, you know, if you're not up these really steep hills, just grab the tram, walk down. But yeah, lovely experience. Very touristy, very busy. So we would probably recommend it might be good going early morning, would you say?
Very early.
Very early, because it's very touristy.
It gets very busy.
Very difficult, busy. You know, if you're looking for that, you know, top Insta snap, then doing that midday, it's going to be very difficult without catching someone's head in there, which I think is, again, another learning curve for us. Yeah,
I was catching their head off, I had head in trap. No. Yeah. So then it was on to Alcatraz for the evening. So we had several options for this, and for me at least, I know it was a big thing that I really wanted to go and see and experience, because big fan of the place, love the various films, The Rock, Escape from Alcatraz, just the story of it itself, like how it's changed throughout the years, the decades, and the fact that we've seen so many stories and articles about how the actual area itself is like crumbling, the island's crumbling, the building's crumbling. So it's just a case of, oh my god, it's like, where are you going? Anyway, so within that in mind, we just wanted to make sure that we, that's Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. Got ourselves this little booklet for $1. But yeah, no, we would definitely recommend the night tour. Although the day one, there's a lot more times, a lot more companies offer that. Yeah. You do pay that little bit extra for the nighttime tour, but definitely worth it, especially if you do like a little bit of a spook.
And it was a little bit scary on there as well. Not as scary as Charlotte maybe, but it was scary. So the night tour that we did was like, well, I think it was $38, $39, something like that.
Not excessive.
Booked it online before we actually flew, so Charlotte's planning did come in handy for that. So perhaps Charlotte, well done. Thank you.
But you do get that a little bit cheaper rather than trying to. I mean, obviously, then you've got if you try and book it whilst you're there, not only are you looking at being a bit more pricey, but because it's such a popular attraction, then you're looking at, you know, it potentially just being full. And then if you're only there for that few days, you want to make sure that you're fitting in everything you possibly can. Yeah,
which is true, because the thing is, when we went there, we got arrived there at the terminal to get on the ferry to go to the island itself. There was people getting turned away because there were no tickets left. It is a sellout, especially on the night. And one thing I would say, well, the temperatures we said were obviously pretty good for the times we were in San Francisco, days or nights, which is true. When you're actually on the ferry going to Alcatraz, it's freezing. I had a hoodie with me, luckily, but I was still cold even with that. But the cool thing is when you actually board the ferry and you're travelling across to the island, you kind of get like the sunset comes down as you're going across. And from some of the pictures that's there, you can kind of see that some are in a sunset, some look darker, some look lighter, and that's just because the angle you're actually going around on the ferry at the time before it actually goes to port on the island itself. And when you're looking around, it's get like an audio tour. So we had this like package delivered to us, which was like earphones, a little player, so we like put them in the ear. I think the first one didn't work for me, did it? So we got a new set, and at this point though, we're kind of like behind the rest of the group. So you get off as a group and you go like wander around the island, wander around through the prison, and it doesn't matter where you actually pick it up from, if you stay with the rest of the group or not. You're told about the pickup point at the end and what time you have to be there by. And so we just kind of like got our headsets and just walked around by ourselves. And if we were with the group, we were. If we weren't, it didn't really matter. We just did our own thing. And one other cool thing which we didn't do, because I was a bit scared to do it, and I think Charlotte was as well, we can actually stay on the island, which is we're not like in a bed, not like getting room service, anything like that. But if you missed the last ferry, they've got like this little kind of like outbuilding, and you kind of like got these like seats, and they've got like a little movie of history of Alcatraz playing on there as well. And you would have to wait there until the next ferry in the morning. So you can't actually book to stay on the island overnight, but if you happen to miss the ferry, you could stay there and just get back in the next morning instead. Although it is pretty spooky walking around there. We tried to take some photos back from the island to look across at the landscape of San Francisco itself, the cityscape, but it didn't quite work out. There's too many lights coming through, and whether it's the phone we were using, that's all we had to actually take photos of it, it didn't really show too well. But overall, great experience. Recommend it. Although I've not done the daytime, Charlotte's not done the daytime either. Nighttime one, fantastic. If you get a chance to do it. There's less slots, but it was just really great experience. It kind of gave you the feel that you were in Alcatraz and it was dark, it was cold, it was lonely to an extent, even though Charlotte's right there and there's the people. But because of like where it was, the darkness kind of separated it more from the actual island itself.
That's it. Please comment below if you have experienced Alcatraz at any other time. Obviously this was our first time.
Yep.
You know, again, at some point in the future, we would love to go back. We would like to experience everything. So if you can give us it from a different perspective, we would much appreciate it.
So after we'd been to Alcatraz, it was cold, it was dark, it was a little bit late. So we went to a pizza restaurant, which again wasn't too far from the hotel, and we love pizza. We like our pizza.
We love pizza.
We love pizza. So we went to a place called Uncle Vito's, and the reason we chose it was just purely because of the menu looked awesome in the window itself. We didn't research it. We didn't look for this, didn't look for that. We just thought, you know what, the menu looks great. Yeah, it was getting late.
It was getting quite late.
We wanted pizza, so we got pizza, and it was lovely. I think I got one called the Greek. I think it was called the Greek. I think it was the Greek. I did post a picture on Instagram, and someone commented saying that they thought it was the Greek. And the cool thing was the actual restaurant itself did actually like, share and comment the picture, which was really quite cool. Enjoyed that. So Uncle Vito's.
Check out their Instagram
awesome.
page.
Really good, which is just down here.
Yeah, and save it to your favourites if you want to go to San Fran.
Lovely.
Day 2. Ticked quite a lot of things off our list for San Francisco on day 1. So off to a good start on our road trip. So here we are, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, tram stop right outside. Where did we go on it?
Where's Fisherman's Wharf?
Fisherman's Wharf,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we thought, right, what is the most iconic thing of San Francisco? What does everybody do? So before we let you know where that is, we did jump on the tram. About 40 minutes wait.
At least, yeah.
At least
so
40-minute wait.
Yeah, so
Which is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Because we did have a little bit of a hype to get on the tram. We thought being, you know, true San Francisco.
San Franciscans.
San Franciscans.
And true tourists as well.
However, when we did jump on, it didn't disappoint.
Nope.
We got given one of these little tickets on here, and then for that, oh, there we go. So that was $7 one way, heading towards Fisherman's Wharf.
Yes.
So that got us to the next district of San Francisco, where of course we were exploring the iconic
Fisherman's Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf.
And one thing to say, just with going back to the actual cable car side of things as well, there is a long queue to actually get on. But what the good thing is they're doing, obviously, have steps along the way. The main points to get on, you'll have massive queues, hundreds of people all lined up waiting to get on. But at every one of the stops that it goes past, they will only let so many people on. So at the initial start of the journey, they may, let's say, 10, 12 people on. And at each stop, maybe like 1, 2, 3 people can then get on, just so that everybody's got a fair chance of getting on. Just so that it's not a case of if you miss the first stop, you will not be able to ever get on unless you join that queue. So that was a really good thing. And the ride itself didn't really take that long. It was quite noisy, lots of little bells and things going on. But it was a really good journey.
I felt like a local when we got on there. When we finally got on there, I felt like a local. And I think it all just built in as part of the experience, to be honest. You know, you think San Francisco, you instantly think the trams. But yeah, it was a lovely experience. And obviously it is something that they are aware of, that there is a big demand. Because not only, you know, like I said, there's the locals getting on, the tourists getting on. So, you know, I can see why they have to find that even balance. But obviously that 40-minute wait just wasn't really ideal.
No. But it did pay off in the end. So we waited and we were full to our breakfast as well. Again, walk around Fisherman's Wharf, we found a place called the Hollywood Cafe San Francisco.
Yep, that's it. So that's it basically. We didn't want to put all our eggs in one basket with Laurie's Diner. We wanted to see what else San Francisco had to offer. And yeah, we did find Hollywood Cafe down at
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah. Not in LA yet. But it was, again, it didn't disappoint.
No.
I don't know whether we just had pure good luck with finding good
Eggs
places
Benedict
to have
breakfast
breakfast.
places.
And by the way, American hash brown. Perfect, it's lovely.
Really nice. And literally, again, love the place, really nice, friendly people. We ate outside and drinks were really good. And again, it was really nice of them to use our photo and also name drop us as well on their Instagram page. So props to them, Hollywood Cafe SF, thank you. And it was really tasty, really loved it. And it was just what we needed before we actually got on the bikes. And before Charlotte almost fell off the bike. But yeah, we'll let you watch that anyway. What else do you think of with San Francisco as being iconic? So we've got cable cars, Alcatraz, and what else could that be, Charlotte? What else?
I don't know.
Any ideas?
What could it be? I don't know.
Got it. It's the Golden Gate Bridge. And what better way to do it other than cycling across?
Which, good idea. Sounds fantastic. Was all up for it. And then we go and hire our bike from Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, yeah.
So we'll post the links down below so you can check them out. Reasonably priced. But yeah, Blazing Saddles. We're on it. I've not rode a bike for probably at least 15 years. But I just thought, they always say, don't they, you never forget how to ride a bike. So I thought we were going to hop on and off I went. Well, you know, apologies to a potential car that I nearly parked that is, that I nearly went into. Because it took me a good half an hour to get used to it. And I thought, oh my God, we've hired these bikes for the day. How much did they cost?
I think it was something like about $39 or $49.
Yeah, $39, which if you get your use out of them, well worth it, because you could go anywhere. They gave you maps, routes that you could follow. Really easy, wasn't it?
It was easy, as long as you can actually ride a bike. So we first get on the bikes, and literally there's like Blazing Saddles is like here, and then the car that Charlotte hit is like just up here. So got on the bike straight outside. It was all waiting for us, already all set up, and without even pedalling, she just kind of sat on the seat and then just kind of like just glided across. And then as she glided across, the car was there. And I'm thinking she's going to turn. So I got on mine. I'm starting to pedal, and I actually turned to actually go down the road, but she keeps going towards this car. And these like screams and tears start happening.
I'm having a meltdown.
And I'm like, God, what's going on?
I'm having a meltdown. I've had this car for... Not this car, sorry, this bike. We've had this bike.
Got an extra car.
For literally 2 minutes.
Not even that.
I'm
seconds.
using my foot as a brake.
The ink was
I'm taking
wet on the
cars
contract.
out, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm ruining the experience because you know you do. We've been planning this for 11 months.
Not planning.
Like we've been planning it for 11 months, and and it just looked so beautiful, lovely day, gorgeous day,
Awesome day.
And then I thought, oh no, I've ruined it. That's it.
But it was okay. I managed to teach her how to ride a bike. So literally, it was like teach a child how to ride a bike. But she was taught how to ride a bike, and they had no stabilizers. And the other thing, which luckily you won't hear on the video, is Charlotte's use of the brakes. So obviously there's lots of hills in San Francisco, up, down, windy, all that kind of stuff. And going towards the bridge, as you'll see, it's really pretty much quite flat. It's a bit awkward to get onto the bridge, which was explained before we actually go into the video itself, because you kind of go under the bridge, then you've got to climb for a little bit up some steps with the bike. You've got different windy bits up, and they limit the number of bikes on the bridge at any one time. So, you could be there and there could be 50 cyclists waiting to go in at once, but you might be let on in batches of 2, 3, 4, 5, and then wait a few minutes. So that's a bit of a queue, something we weren't aware of. We hadn't seen anything on that online, so just be careful of that as well. But yeah, back to the brake thing. So it was after we crossed the bridge and things then started becoming sort of a downhill road, and the little Charlotte loved to just hold the brakes going all the way down, and all I could hear at the back, which kind of hindered the filming, was literally it was kind of squeaking the entire thing. Everybody was looking to the other cyclists. Pedestrians were terrified for this screeching thing, and then just panicking the whole time. And I'm like, oh my god! So I stayed behind on my bike. And
I think I had a broken bike.
It was fine.
And safety first.
The bike was fine. I had a broken Charlotte. Instead, but
me.
it was really good. So check out the cycling, see if you like it, and recommend it. It's a great experience. It was a great day for it as well.
And it's not just as simple as riding the bike over the bridge. It was such a scenic route, what we had. So many good photo opportunities. You might find a few that we've just popped on this video. But yeah, lots and lots of good photo opportunities.
Lots.
But yeah, definitely recommend cycling it rather than walking it. And yeah, don't just think it's going to be $40 just purely for the bridge. There's good routes at either side, good scenic routes. So yeah, check that out. Yeah,
and the good thing about on the way back as well is you don't have to cycle back if you don't want to. So you've taken all these miles, kilometres, however you want to measure it. You've gone over the bridge, you've gone to some of the towns and villages at the other side, and then you're thinking, I'm a little bit tired now, what am I going to do? Luckily, the price of the rental does actually give you a ferry ride on the way back as well. So it purely also bike hires quite a lot down in Fisherman's Wharf. And the good thing is that you just go along, put your bike on the ferry, and a little bit of a queue to get on it, but it does hold a lot of people and doesn't take long. And then it just literally is about maybe a 20-minute cycle back from the port it comes to actually take it back to Blazing Saddles. Hey, check them out. Bridge. We're over halfway across. It's not too bad. Take it nice and easy, nice and slow. So after we dropped the bikes off, we were a little bit hungry again. Did a lot of cycling, we put some miles, put some kilometres, and we wanted to keep our food levels still at a good measure. So there was a place we actually saw before we left, which we'd seen on Instagram, and the desserts were really quite cool. There's a place called the Baked Bear, and there's actually, I think, 2 of them in San Francisco. We were trying to find the bigger one of the 2, but it was getting quite late, so we're thinking, oh, we can't find it. And luckily, we located the smaller one, and again, weren't disappointed. It was getting close to them closing. It was dark, wind was coming a little bit, but it was still warm, and we got a cookie sandwich. So we get like cookie, ice cream, cookie, eat quick. It was great, loved it, absolutely amazing,
delicious.
Yeah, and the thing was,
especially if you've got a sweet tooth. I'm so rude. Carry on.
Yeah, I've got a sweet tooth. Nothing sweet about me. So we went and had that, and whilst we were there, I was on my phone and I thought I found another Baked Bear near where we're staying in LA, which again, check out another video, which we will be posting at some point. And so we thought, okay, so we don't just want to find the big one a different day. We'll just have this one now, and in LA we'll go find another one. Now we have spoken a bit about iconic things in San Francisco. What we said so far, Golden Gate Bridge. We've had Alcatraz, yeah. And we've had the
Tram.
Cable
How can I forget?
Cable cars.
Oh, sorry, cable cars, not
trams. Yeah,
we're not in Blackpool.
Sheffield or Nottingham or Blackpool, yeah. And the other thing, which is famous within San Francisco and famous to the world about San Francisco, is the Painted Ladies.
Painted Ladies.
What are the Painted Ladies, Charlotte? Talk to me about them.
So, Painted Ladies, so if you're looking for that extra bit of colour in your life, and let's be honest, if you live in San Francisco, you would want one of these. However, it was night time.
It was night time.
It was night time.
So they weren't really that colourful at the time.
So we decided to get ourselves a taxi driver / tour guide.
It was intended for the tour guide. So basically, we were on the last night and we're thinking, okay, we've still got this to do. And we knew the picture weren't going to turn out that great because of the lighting that we had at the time. But we thought the quickest way is to get a taxi. So we jump in a taxi and it's like, tickets to the Painted Ladies. And as soon as he heard us talk and say Painted Ladies, obviously we didn't have an American accent, so he knew we were tourists instantly. And he was talking a lot about them, which is really good. And he also then wanted to show us all these other sites. So I quickly jumped out, got some photos of the Painted Ladies, which were more like the slightly shaded ladies. And we got back in the taxi and he was then taking us to a few other locations within the city as well. And it was good. It was good. One of the places One of the places that I really wanted to go to was a bar. And I thought, well, it's before we pick up the car the next morning, so last chance to use this bar and go to it. So it was the McKellar Bar, which, fantastic by the way, it's really good.
If you're into craft beer.
Yes.
To be honest, there was still something for everybody. It was just
a little bit more expensive, wasn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah, maybe trying to get a little bit of a rosé wine.
Yeah.
I don't know if was it a small or a large?
Mini. So we said before about the milkshake, and the wine
like
kind of
comparison.
it's like small, minuscule. So beer, mini wine, $20. Beer, like $4, $5. Wine, like $15 to make up the 20. So a little bit overpriced for things that weren't beer, but that's kind of expected if you like that kind of thing. But the inside of the bar was great.
It was lovely.
Bit industrial. I like my industrial stuff. Charlotte's not too much of a fan, but the industrial side of things, if you like that, again, very cool. Enjoyed it. And we got the same taxi driver, didn't he? Because he left us his number to the taxi driver. So he picked us up afterwards. It's the only place we went to, and then we just went back to the hotel to catch a bit of a snooze before the next leg of our adventure.
Catch us soon. So we're on our third and final day of San Francisco before we are moving on.
Sad times. I like San Francisco a lot.
Sad times. And we thought, right, what do we want from San Francisco?
Ice cream.
We've had all the experiences.
Yeah, ice cream.
We found some amazing places to eat. Well, of course, you've got to check out the shopping wherever you do go. And luckily for us, only staying a couple of minutes away from Union Square, meant that we were right on the doorstep. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. So what happened was we were doing some shopping and I was very unsuccessful in getting my San Francisco 49ers sneakers, trainers, Nikes, however you want to call them. So I tried everywhere, but while we were shopping, we did locate the Michael Kors store. And I'm thinking of Christmas at this point as well, because obviously we're in September, Christmas shopping a bit coming on, and Charlotte's not that keen on trying clothes on. And I thought...
I'd rather take... Usually, when it's back home in the UK, I would rather bring things home, try things on through my own mirrors, and then just take it back if it's not for me. However, obviously that's not the case when you're thousands of miles away.
No. So I managed to coerce her into trying some clothes on that I didn't really think she'd buy. I wasn't going to buy them, but I just encouraged her to try them, get her out the picture so I can do some sneaky Christmas shopping. Yeah. So, funnily enough, none of this wasn't actually planned. This wasn't planned at all. But what I ended up buying her was actually,
this little number.
This here. Give us a twirl, give us a twirl. That's a twirl, everybody, and it's not the Cadbury's one. This is a 12.
Unfortunately, it's a Charlotte twirl.
We like a 12. Yeah, so I've got this, and totally sneaks out. I had a little rucksack with me, a little backpack. So went to the sales assistant, I was like, I need this. And she quickly wraps it up for me, totally hidden it, and for the entire trip, I kept it hidden. Charlotte didn't even know that I'd got her anything, so I was pretty sneaky with that. And then we managed to quickly get back to the hotel, get in another taxi, and go to the airport. So although we just arrived 3 days earlier, yes, we're going to the airport, but we're going to the airport to pick up our car for the next part of our adventure.
Yes, we were. So do check that out. We will be sharing with you what we did on the next stint of our road trip.
Indeed.
Please, if there's anything that you want to know more information about or any feedback that you could give us, considering it's our first video, please don't hesitate to let us know below. We do take it on board just so that we can give the content that you're looking for. Thank you.